Okay. Would everybody please take their seats? We're going to start in a minute. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the Chairman's Awards for Advancement in Accessibility. The Chairman started this initiative about 2.5 years ago at the 20th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I'm Jamal Nazrui, the Deputy Director of the Accessibility and Innovation Initiative. The Director is Pam Gregory. Several members of our staff team helped to make this event happen, including the nomination and selection process that led to this event. I'd like to ask them to each stand as I say their names. Susan McLean, Kelly Jones, Rebecca Lockhart, Susan Fissen, Gregory Leibach, Rosaline Crawford, John Herzog, and I'm sorry about this. We also had a summer intern, Mustafa Nassim, from the University of Colorado. I'd like to give you some background on the Accessibility and Innovation Initiative. Yeah. Okay. I'd like to introduce Commissioner Clyburn for a few words.
Thank you, and I apologize for being a bit disruptive, so please forgive. He looks very forgiving. And so this is an incredible day for me and for all of you. So please allow me to start off by congratulating all of today's winners. Each of you has demonstrated an incredible commitment to public service through your intellectual talents for a most worthy effort. When Congress enacted the 21st Century Communications and Video Accessibility Act back in 2010, it sent a powerful message to this nation and to this agency. It affirmed that as these advanced communication services become more prevalent and often more affordable, our job at this agency and in this nation is not done if these advanced devices and services are not fully ubiquitous. Chairman Janikowski has shown tremendous leadership in this area by promoting greater accessibility in communication services and applications. He is ensuring that this agency not only complies with the timetable Congress set to adopt and implement the plain language of the Act, but that it also finds creative ways to advance accessibility. Today's challenge is a great example of that and an incredible example of how innovative initiatives where the best and brightest collaborate to solve problems that once seemed to be unsolvable. This day is a glowing example of that. I am proud, we all should be proud, to be a part of this day, incredible day, an incredible time in the American experience. So I thank you all for joining us today, and I will hand the mic back to you to do what you do best, my friend, and that is to make and augment this incredible and joyous day. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you this afternoon.
Let me first correct the names I didn't get right. So Cheryl King and Jackie Ellington were also part of our staff team. As we know, technology is evolving at a rapid rate, affecting what we do and how we do it in almost every sphere of life. In general, this means exciting progress, since new tasks are possible and traditional ones can be done with less time and expense. Unfortunately, we have also learned through history that accessibility tends to lag behind for people with disabilities. It is not that those of us with disabilities are deliberately excluded. Rather, disability access is often not on the radar screens of inventors when they race to create new products before their competitors. An ironic result of this dynamic is that people with disabilities are sometimes separated or isolated from their peers when instead opportunities could be further equalized. In my personal experience, I had a major setback about in the 1990s when office computers quickly switched from the text mode interface of DOS to the graphical user interface of Windows. A different result is possible, however, because contemporary technologies include intelligent software at their core. That software is not fixed and inflexible, but malleable and adaptable. It can respond to different human needs and abilities. Alternative means of input or output can be part of an application. So technology can be a game changer for people with disabilities, helping to level the playing field in an unprecedented manner. This is especially true in an era of mobile devices, broadband connections, and cloud computing. Mobile devices bring functionality with us wherever we go. Broadband connections allow almost instantaneous interaction with computer servers and data repositories at distant locations, cloud computing on demand. For example, a blind person can readily identify paper currency with a mobile phone that includes an app and a camera. A deaf person can communicate directly through sign language via broadband-enabled video. Someone with a speech disability can use an app and a speech synthesizer instead of a bulky, expensive device that only works for that purpose. Someone with a cognitive disability can set reminders on a mobile phone, and a person with a learning disability can read a book online where each word is highlighted and voiced. Over the years, the United States Congress has determined that various laws are needed to help make sure that physical and virtual environments are built with accessibility in mind. The FCC is responsible for implementing some of those laws. Unfortunately, however, regulation, although needed, has trouble keeping pace with reality, because by the time that the public is properly consulted, factors are considered, and rules are written, new technologies may have emerged that are more relevant than those regulated. The Accessibility and Innovation Initiative is an approach to helping to close the accessibility gap. It is part of the open government movement, which holds that progress in society is better achieved when government workers collaborate with citizens in identifying problems, prioritizing issues, and finding solutions. We thus promote collaboration among industry, consumers, and government sectors so that people with disabilities can reap the full benefit of broadband communication technologies. I'd like to summarize the main areas of our work in 2012. They are related to the Chairman's AAA Challenge, the Developing with Accessibility event, and the Accessibility Clearinghouse website. Over the summer, we received over 40 nominations for the Chairman's AAA, nearly twice as many as last year. Besides the winners we honor at the ceremony today, the Technology Experience Center plays an important role in allowing visitors to have hands-on experience with some of the winning apps. The Developing with Accessibility event was a unique two-day event in September. As far as we know, it is the first time that the federal government has concentrated such effort targeted towards developers rather than policymakers. It included high-quality training from experts in the field on how to develop mobile apps and broadband-enabled websites according to accessibility guidelines for various platforms. The Accessibility Clearinghouse is the only congressionally mandated clearinghouse of information on accessible technology solutions. It is located on the web at www.fcc.gov/accessibility-clearinghouse. It started in October 2011 with data sets related to accessibility features on mobile phones, free assistive apps, and fact sheets about technology access. In 2012, we added the ability to download information as a spreadsheet, added data about conferences related to disability access, and also extended the developer interface so that programmers as well as users can benefit from the clearinghouse by creating apps that mash together, or mashups, data from the clearinghouse with other sources, tailoring value to particular disability groups or mobile platforms. We appreciate your interest and participation in activities of the Accessibility Initiative. For more information about our regulatory work, it is now my pleasure to introduce Karen Strauss, Deputy Chief of the Consumer and Governmental Affairs Bureau. Karen has been a leading architect of disability and telecommunications access laws over the past couple of decades. We are fortunate to have her in a position of helping to make sure that laws are implemented properly. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Jamal, for that kind introduction, and it's a pleasure to be here and to have you all here. This past year at the Commission, we've accomplished a great deal to further access by people with disabilities to emerging communications technologies. As all of you know, President Obama signed the 21st Century Communications and Video Accessibility Act in October of 2010, and in response, the Commission has initiated numerous proceedings and already put into place several new policies to swiftly implement this legislation. In fact, I'm proud to report that owing to the extraordinary abilities and the dedication of FCC staff throughout this building, we have met every rulemaking deadline pertaining to this act to date. I would like to highlight a few of these accomplishments. First, a little more than a year ago, in October of 2011, the Commission adopted rules requiring access to people with disabilities, by people with disabilities, to advanced communication services, including VoIP services and electronic messaging services, as well as the equipment used with those services. Although these rules aren't effective until next year, October 2013, already we have seen significant strides made by many of the companies represented here to achieve compliance with the new mandates. What excites us the most is to watch the engineers working with these companies eagerly responding to these accessibility challenges. We appreciate as well how many of the companies have begun reaching out to disability communities for their input as they go about designing their accessibility solutions. In July of this year, we launched the National Deaf-Blind Equipment Distribution Program by certifying 53 states and state and local programs to distribute telecommunications and advanced communication service equipment to people who are both deaf and blind. We also selected the Perkins School for the Blind in partnership with the Helen Keller National Center and Fablevision as the National Outreach Coordinator for this effort. This coming December 31st marks the completion of the first 6 months of this program. It is also when we will receive reports on what will hopefully be the program's many successes in giving out essential communications equipment to this previously unserved population. July of this year was also the date on which the Commission's reinstated video description rules went into effect, requiring large market television broadcast stations and video distributors, multi-video programming distributors, to provide certain levels of video-described programming and other stations and systems to pass through description they receive. September 30th of this year marked another milestone, as this was the date that initiated the phase-in for previously captioned television programming to be shown with captions when transmitted via Internet protocol. The newest requirement went into effect for pre-recorded programming that is not substantially edited when posted to the Internet. The next deadline on March 30th, 2013 will apply to live and near-live programming. In addition, by January 2014, video devices will have to comply with the compatibility requirements of our closed captioning rules, designed to ensure that people who use captions can watch those captions on a wide variety of devices, regardless of size and shape. And of course, this is a departure from our existing requirements that only require captions to be shown on televisions with screens 13 inches and greater. In addition to these various proceedings, the Commission has open proceedings to bring its hearing aid compatibility rules in line with 21st century wireless technologies, and as many of you know, to consider public safety proposals that we released just last week that will enable all Americans, including Americans who are deaf, have hearing loss, or are speech disabled, to use text to call 911 in an emergency. This, of course, is part of the nation's general migration to next generation 911. The CBAA also requires that beginning October 2013, web browsers on mobile devices must be accessible to people who are blind or visually impaired. That also the televised emergency information be accessible to people who are blind or have a visual impairment. Also, that consumers have ways to access video description and captioning on the video equipment that they purchase, and also that video devices have user interfaces that can be navigated and used by people who are blind or visually impaired. The Commission will be tackling all of these issues in the coming months, and we will be implementing them for years to come. So you see, we have been busy, and we will continue to be busy on these issues for the foreseeable future. But there are others here who have also been busy, the many winners, honorable mentions, and other participants in our Chairman's AAA contest. I wish to thank all of the winners and honorable mentions, and to thank all of those who participated who may not be here by submitting their nominations to the contest. Your extraordinary dedication, your perseverance, and devotion to designing accessible technologies are daily improving the lives of millions of Americans with disabilities. Although Jamal already mentioned several staff members, I also wish to again thank our wonderful Consumer Affairs and Outreach Division, the Accessibility and Innovation Team, and our Commission's Disability Rights Office who worked on this event and other disability issues. And again, I'd like to have everyone from CAOD and DRO stand so that everyone here can see the many individuals who work so tirelessly on disability-related issues here at the Commission. So if you could stand one more time. I also especially want to thank Jamal Mesroui, Kelly Jones, and Susan McLean. Events like this that appear to be seamless, but only because people like you have worked so hard to make them look that way. Thank you also to Becky Lockhart, Susan Fissen, and Roger Goldblatt, who provided critical assistance on this event. I finally wanted to mention that the Accessibility Clearinghouse that Jamal mentioned is going to be updated even more as Jamal's leadership takes on the task of enhancing it even more for people with disabilities Disabilities. And finally, I wanted to mention that the A&I Initiative will again be hosting another conference as part of the M-Enabling Tour International Summit on Wireless Technologies. That will be in June 6th and 7th. It will not be hosted here, although we will have international visitors coming here on the 5th. So anybody that's interested in that event, let us know. At this point, I have to put my glasses on and see if the chairman's here. I don't see him yet. So I think we're going to take a little break, just mingle amongst yourselves, and we'll wait for him to arrive, and then I'll introduce him, and we'll get on with the awards. Thank you. Okay, would everybody please take your seat? The chairman's on his way. Okay. I'm going to introduce the chairman, Julius Janikowski. I mentioned that all of the Commission's extraordinary accomplishments to meet the CBAA's deadlines and ensure communications and video programming accessed by people with disabilities occurred this year. This could not have been possible without the chairman's full commitment to and leadership on these issues, as well as his commitment to passing major reforms to extend broadband and all its benefits to all Americans. Thank you, Chairman Janikowski, for all of that you have done to enable us to advance these critical issues and for hosting these very important awards. The floor is yours.
Karen, thank you, as always, for all your incredible work here at the Commission over an extraordinary career. We're so lucky to have you driving this agenda at the FCC. Thank you all for being here for the presentation of our second Chairman's Awards for Advancement in Accessibility. Yes, we call these the AAA Awards for Advancement in Accessibility. And no, presenting your awards or receiving the awards will not get you a 10% discount on hotels or rental cars. But it's really so much more important than that. I've acknowledged Karen Pelt-Strauss and her just extraordinary work. Of course, Karen doesn't do it alone. A great group of talented and dedicated public servants work on these issues, including Susan McLean and Kelly Jones and Jamal Mazrui. Our entire team in the Consumer Governmental Affairs Bureau and Disability Rights Office, thank you for all that you do, and in particular, thank you for making these awards, this event, possible. And it's not exactly like George Washington standing down after 4 years, but when you do something once, it's kind of a nice thing. But when you do it twice, as we're doing now, we've institutionalized it. And we know from last year's experience that people are motivated, and this does positively influence the work that people do in the field. And I couldn't be happy that we have institutionalized this idea, these awards, along with the other things that we've been doing to take ideas, make them real, and then make them lasting. Now, we do this because we're very fortunate at the FCC to have the mission of harnessing communications technology to improve the lives of all Americans. And there are so many ways, as all of you know from the work that we're doing here, that communications technologies can improve the lives of all Americans, economic benefits, benefits around education, and benefits around health care, and benefits around connecting with family and public safety, and on and on and on. One of the things that we've seen, and this is perhaps as dramatic as any other set of benefits, are the benefits that communications technology can provide to people with disabilities, improving the lives of people with disabilities, including people with disabilities more and more in our society and our economy. The opportunities of technology are just amazing, and we're in a particularly extraordinary period when it comes to that. So we established these awards. I didn't name them, but they are called the Chairman's Awards for Advancement and Accessibility. We established them in 2010 as part of our National Broadband Plan, the first comprehensive nationwide strategy to unleash the opportunities of broadband in the U.S. The plan includes our Accessibility and Innovation Initiative, which seeks to foster affordable accessibility solutions for the disabled through workshops, online tools, and awards like this today. I'm proud of what we've accomplished over the past 3+ years to extend the benefits of broadband technology to Americans with disabilities. With access to broadband technology, an individual with disabilities can telecommute or run a business outside of his or her home, participate in online commerce, engage in civic dialogue, receive remote health and job-related support, gain access to online educational classes and digital books. We've really done quite a big deal here, thanks to Karen and her team and the others I've mentioned, to implement the 21st Century Communications and Video Accessibility Act, the most significant disabilities law since the American with Disabilities Act. Congress entrusted us with very important responsibilities to implement this very important legislation, and I'm grateful for the team for keeping us on track, on schedule, to make the promise of that legislation a reality. As part of the efforts to implement the new law, we've already taken steps to ensure the 21st century internet-based and digital communications technologies are accessible to people with disabilities, to provide video description on TV, to make sure that previously televised video programming shown over the internet has captions, and to distribute accessible communications equipment to people who are deafblind. In the coming year, we'll be looking at ways to make sure that emergency programming shown on TV is accessible to people who are blind or visually impaired, and to ensure that video equipment can pass through such accessible emergency information as well as video description. Today is really just a great day because we get to celebrate innovators who have helped make communications technology more accessible to people with disabilities. We were very pleased with the excellent quality of the nominations we received. I want to commend and applaud the efforts of all the nominees. The outstanding work submitted by so many individuals, associations, and companies is truly inspiring. And so let's proceed to the public recognition of this great work. Let me first recognize 2 honorable mentions. And as I read your company or organization's name, please come forward, and come forward right here. In the Consumer Empowerment Information category. And I have to say, it's just so cool that we have a Consumer Empowerment Information category. We recognize Google Plus Hangouts. This program allows people who are deaf and hard of hearing and who communicate in sign language to participate in multi-user video chat while controlling whose screen they want to view. So Google Plus Hangout, thank you. Adrian Biddings is here today from Google to accept this award, and thank you. And congratulations. I think there we go. Thank you very much. In the mobile applications category, we recognize the Virtual Braille Keyboard, developed by a team at Stanford University that unfortunately wasn't able to join us today. But let me describe this wonderful innovation. It allows people who are blind or visually impaired to use the Braille code for input on the touchscreen of a tablet or other mobile device, allowing greater access to the world of apps for such individuals. So congratulations to the Stanford team as well. We honor you in absentia. And now I'd like to recognize the winners of the 2012 Awards for Advancement in Accessibility. And again, as I call your company's name, please come up and be acknowledged. In the category of Civic Participation Solutions, another great category, the winner is Prime 3, a universally designed voting machine. This system allows people with visual, hearing, reading, or dexterity disabilities to privately and independently vote using the same voting machine as everyone else. Andrea Johnson from the Clemson University Human-Centered Computing Lab is here to accept this award. Andrea, congratulations. In the category of Consumer Empowerment Information, the winner is Project STAR, Accessible Radio 2012, a.k.a. the narrator. Now, the Insignia narrator, an AM/FM HD radio built by Best Buy's exclusive brand Insignia, follows the principle of universal design by providing simple, tactile controls that talk, so that people who are blind or visually impaired can control the user interfaces on their radio. The narrator was designed in collaboration with the International Association of Audio Information Services, formerly the Association of Radio Reading Services, their project called STAR, which stands for Standards for Accessible Radios. IAAIS members provide access to print-based information for individuals who are print disabled. And we have here to accept this Neely Oplinger of Metropolitan Washington EAR, Mike Dainert of Best Buy, and Al Schuldener of Ubiquity, all here to accept this award on behalf of Project STAR. Thank you very much. In the category of education, college or university, the winner is Project Possibility SS12, Code for a Cause. Now, this is an event that educates computer science students about accessibility, making these students better equipped to develop accessible technology solutions for people with disabilities. Sean, I want to make sure I pronounce this right, Goggin from Project Possibility is here today to accept this award. Sean, congratulations. In the mobile applications category, the winner is Media Access Mobile. Now, Media Access Mobile is mobile technology that enhances the user experience for multimedia presentations at cultural institutions, museums, exhibits, or other venues by providing synchronized text for people who are deaf or hard of hearing and synchronized audio description for people who are blind or visually impaired. Media Access Mobile can also provide subtitles and audio tracks in multiple languages. Larry Goldberg, not the first time here at the Commission, from the WGBH National Center for Accessible Media, is here today to accept this award. Larry, congratulations on this and on all the work you've done for really quite... Keep coming back. In the Geolocation Solutions category, the winner is Tiramisu Transit. Now, it won not only for its name, but Tiramisu Transit is an app that intelligently crowdsources information on bus schedules, timing, and space availability. The app is written to be compliant with accessibility guidelines of various platforms and is intended to benefit people with and without disabilities who want helpful information for planning bus travel. Here to represent Tiramisu Transit and accept this award are Aaron Steinfeld and John Zimmerman. Thank you. In the video programming category, we have two winners. First, Accessible Media Inc., AMI. AMI's Described Video Guide builds awareness about video description while providing an accessible, aggregate daily list of described video programming to enable individuals who are blind or visually impaired to plan their TV viewing. Here to accept this award from AMI are Robert Pearson and David Arrington. All right, congratulations. And second, we have the pleasure of recognizing the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers, SMPTE, who receive this award for the development of the SMPTE 2052 suite of standards and recommended practices for SMPTE timed text, which enabled TV content delivered over Internet protocol to retain closed captions for the deaf and hard of hearing communities. It's a big deal. Here today to accept this award is Robert Seidel. Thank you very much. What a great group of winners representing a very broad swath of the kind of innovation that can be brought to harness the power of communications technology for people with disabilities. Let me thank each of the winners who are here, the ones who are not here, all of your teams, your families, everyone who helped inspire and facilitate your work to develop these wonderful, wonderful products. Your work will mean what everyone listening to this knows it will mean, greater access for people with disabilities to the benefits of broadband technology and to inclusion fully in our society and economy. Before we go, let me also encourage everyone to visit the FCC's Technology Experience Center, our still new facility here that's intended to give people at the Commission and otherwise hands-on experience with cutting-edge communications technologies. I'm pleased to tell you that in connection with these awards today, Tech will be displaying all of the innovations that you've heard about over the course of this award. So, again, let's conclude with a round of applause for the terrific series of winners and their wonderful work. Thank you all.
And before you all leave, we have some concluding remarks from Susan McLean. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Hi, as Karen said, I'm Susan McLean, and I have the honor of being the Chief of the Consumer Affairs and Outreach Division in the Consumer and Governmental Affairs Bureau. I'd like to thank you all so much for being here today to help us celebrate accessible technologies at this awards ceremony. Thank you especially to the winners and honorable mentions that we have just recognized. It has been said that we should never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Your desire for and commitment to innovation has and will continue to change the world. Thank you for that. Let me also thank Chairman Janikowski. We appreciate his vision for the Accessibility and Innovation Initiative and these awards, and we especially appreciate his dedication to accessibility. I'd also like to thank Karen Peltz-Strauss for her leadership and guidance to the ANI initiative. We appreciate your support, and I especially appreciate your extreme patience with my endless questions. I also want to thank the Consumer Affairs and Outreach Division. Everyone is here today, and without them, this would not have been able to happen. The staff work very, very hard, like Karen alluded to earlier, to make sure everything goes seamlessly. So my thanks to you, and it's a privilege to work with you. And last, but definitely not least, I'd like to thank the ANI team for all their hard work in preparing for today's ceremony. The team includes Jamal Mazrui, Kelly Jones, Becky Lockhart, and Susan Facin. They are an incredible team, and I'm honored to work with them. At this time of year, your time is very precious, and we know that. So it's especially meaningful that you took the time to be with us today. It has been an honor to have each of you here. Please take a few minutes to visit the Technology Experience Center that we have told you about and enjoy the technologies that are showcased there. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful holiday.